ask you about this because it came out today that President Obama, Clinton, and Bush, they're all teaming up to raise money for Afghan refugees that are coming to the U.S. Is that something that they ask you to be a part of as well? And if not, would you support it?
I support America. And I just heard that they are giving billions and billions of dollars, $10 billion to Afghanistan, on top of the 85, think of it, on top of the $85 billion worth of the best military equipment ever produced anywhere in the world. They're giving $10 billion now in aid to Afghanistan. They're giving, I think I heard, $64 million a day. What about our country? What about our country? Where do we get this kind of money? We're going to owe $32 trillion in a very short period of time, and that's a very important number, according to The Economist, because when you hit that number, but we owe trillions and trillions of dollars. We're giving money like it's gravy. Now, Afghanistan, surrounded by China and Russia and all these, it's their problem. Why aren't they doing something? They want to give them $10 billion. And I'll tell you why. Because they blew it so badly. We were going to get out with strength, with victory. We were going to get out with we were going to be so proud of that whole thing. We wouldn't have 13 dead soldiers and many other soldiers badly injured, which, by the way, nobody mentions, and 250 people dead from just that one attack. You wouldn't have had anybody dead. And it's such a sad thing when you look at what's gone on over there. So they're going to give them $10 billion because it's a bribe. They want to bribe them into behaving because they've been totally disgraced by their withdrawal. Withdrawal like no other. Probably not only in this country, almost like in the world, because nobody's ever paid $85 billion worth of equipment when they left. There's never been a withdrawal like that. And people get killed. That we understand. It's horrible, and it's incompetence, and it should have never happened. But on top of everything else, we gave them the $85 billion worth of equipment. Now they want to give them $10 billion or $62 to $64 million a day. And you know, I heard President Bush's speech over the weekend, and I said, this is the guy that got us into the quicksand of the Middle East, and he didn't win because he could have won, and he didn't win. Remember, he got on the aircraft carrier, and he made a fool out of himself. President Bush made the single biggest mistake in the history of our country, and that's getting into the quicksand of the Middle East. And then he couldn't finish the job. And now he's lecturing us and saying that al-Qaeda is more of a threat. I mean, think of it, that al-Qaeda, which is a big threat, that al-Qaeda, you look at, and I don't know if you've seen and you've looked at statistics, that our people on the right, that our people in many cases that love our country, that they're worse terrorists than al-Qaeda. And then all of the others that we can name 15 different groups, that the people on the right who love our country, they love it. Now, he doesn't mention, it's very interesting, he doesn't mention Antifa. He doesn't mention BLM, who killed people over the summer. You know, they killed a lot of people. They burned down cities, everything else. Nothing happens to them, but they go after the right, and it's a disgrace. President Bush should apologize to the people of our country.
Mr. President, I know you made a bunch of endorsements today, political endorsements. Obviously, that is a big deal in Republican primaries when you make that endorsement. There are two big Senate races, Ohio and Missouri, where you haven't made an endorsement. In both cases, there are several what I would call pro-Trump Republicans running. Do you intend to endorse in either Ohio or Missouri?
Yeah, they're all Trump people. I mean, everybody running in Ohio is very, very pro-Trump. We just won a fantastic race, as you know, for Congress, and, you know, of somebody who wasn't that well known and won by 30 points. And that was 2 weeks ago. And now I'm going to probably make a decision. But they're all pro-Trump, very pro-Trump. And in Missouri, a great place, they're all pro-Trump. That's the good news. Everybody's pro-Trump. We've come a long way, Sean, haven't we?
I know.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.